Welcome to our podcast, Interior Kosmos Exterior, where we explore the profound relationship between consciousness and cosmos. I'm David, and today we're diving into a fascinating collection of poetry that bridges modern physics, ancient philosophy, and spiritual traditions.
Hello, everyone. I'm Sarah. This collection really struck me with its beautiful vision of how our individual consciousness might be a reflection of the larger cosmos. David, what stood out to you most from these poems?
What captivated me was the central premise that we're not separate from the universe, but intimately connected to it. There's this beautiful line that says, La coscienza individuale non è separata del cosmo, ma ne è riflesso, sintesi, vibrazione, essentially stating that our individual consciousness is not separate from the cosmos, but its reflection, synthesis, and vibration.
I love that perspective. It reminds me of how modern physics has begun to echo what spiritual traditions have taught for millennia. The collection uses quantum concepts like particle entanglement as metaphors for our interconnectedness, doesn't it?
Exactly. There's this fascinating poem that declares particelle infinitesimali strabordano del remoto inconscio del tempo. Infinitesimal particles overflow from the remote unconscious of time. The poet merges quantum physics with consciousness in a way that makes both more profound.
And that mirrors ancient traditions like Vedanta or Taoism that speak of the microcosm reflecting the macrocosm. I was particularly moved by the lines about how microcosmo è il suo conflitto, seppur minuto ed insignificante, riflesso è del macrocosmo infinito. The microcosm and its conflict, though minute and insignificant, reflects the infinite macrocosm. It's a powerful reminder that our inner struggles mirror cosmic processes. What did you think about how the collection treats the concept of void or emptiness?
That was fascinating. Rather than portraying emptiness as something negative, the collection presents it as fertile ground for possibilities. The line, Il vuoto oscuro è energia piena, the dark void is full energy, reminds me of the quantum vacuum, teeming with potential.
And there's a deep meditation on time as well. The poetry suggests that our linear perception of time might be just that, a perception. When it states, il tempo è idea di esistenza, siamo fluttuazioni quantistiche, it's positioning us as quantum fluctuations within a much larger cosmic framework.
What strikes me is how the collection doesn't shy away from scientific concepts, but uses them to deepen spiritual insights. It's neither reductive materialism nor blind spiritualism, but something more integrated.
I think that's what makes it so compelling. It embraces the unknowable while still honoring what we can know through observation and reason. There's this beautiful section where it says, L'universo non è altro da me. The universe is not separate from me, which captures this integration perfectly.
And it doesn't provide easy answers, does it? I was struck by the note at the end stating that the collection isn't meant to offer definitive responses, but rather to elude, evoke, dissolve. It's an invitation to contemplation rather than a statement of certainty.
That's what makes great poetry. It opens doors rather than closing them. And speaking of doorways, I love how the collection explores consciousness as a threshold between worlds. When it says, Ogni componimento è una soglia di senso, un varco dove la parola cerca di farsi visione, it's suggesting that each poem is a threshold of meaning, a gateway where words try to become vision.
That's beautiful. It reminds us that language itself can be transformative, not just descriptive, but actually creating bridges between our interior landscape and the exterior cosmos.
As we wrap up our exploration, I'm reminded of the poem that states, Io divento cosmo ignoto, silenzio, vuoto. Io divento spazio, luce, infinito, intelligibile. It captures this merging of self and universe that lies at the heart of this collection.
And perhaps that's the invitation to our listeners as well, to recognize that the boundaries between our consciousness and the wider universe might be more permeable than we typically assume, to see ourselves not as separate from the cosmos, but as expressions of it.
Thank you, David, for this enlightening conversation. And thank you to our listeners for joining us on this contemplative journey through interior cosmos, exterior. Until next time, may you find moments to contemplate the cosmos within and without.
Thank you, David, and thank you all for listening. We hope this conversation has opened new doorways of perception for you.